So here's an early one. Of course, week 0 at Champaign. Brett Bielema's debut. The Illini, he's got -6 on the Nebraska side. I've seen a full touchdown. I don't know what the latest line that you saw, but what's your thoughts on this one?
I've liked Illinois all along. I before even the current situation, which smells to me like an administration with a new AD setting its ducks in a row if this thing goes south, to get out of a buyout or at least negotiate a nuts crazy buyout down. This looks to me like a better produced level of palace intrigue than what like Tennessee is capable of when they try it, for example. But that being said, Illinois has more super seniors returning, I think, than any team in the power conferences. You've got a team where a lot of these guys were on this squad that went to a bowl game just 2 years ago. They will not be intimidated by Nebraska at all. They went into Lincoln last year and named the score on these guys. Brandon Peters, I think, is a better college quarterback than Adrian Martinez. I think Adrian Martinez is a more talented football player. But I think Brandon Peters knows how to play winning football, play within a system and himself. Nebraska also has no backup quarterback whatsoever. Similar situation we've addressed already. So, and I think you look at Brett Bielema, I just think he's a better football coach than Scott Frost. I said from the very beginning, Scott Frost, looking at the way that first season he turned on his players, his coaches, it reminded me of Rich Rodriguez at Michigan. He lost a game early on against Notre Dame his first year and said, Michigan football will be back. We were like, where'd we go? We didn't realize we left. Okay. And I think it's very similar to the Rodriguez scenario at Michigan. The difference is he's a favorite son. Otherwise, I think he'd be gone right now already. So I think Brett Bielema, we forget how good of a college football coach this guy was, particularly here in the Big Ten. But he didn't do that bad of a job at Arkansas either, man. All right. His system of trying to play physical in that league, not easy, but they were competitive. And in the postseason, most of the years he was there playing in the toughest division in college football. So I think they have a better head coach. I think they have a better quarterback. I think they have a more stable program, even with a coaching change, and they're at home. So I like Illinois straight up. In fact, that was factored into my record predictions for my Big Ten selections. And if you'll recall, one of my picks for win totals this year, one of my best bets is Illinois over 3.
Yeah, I remember all that. Brett Bielema took over a horrible program and horrible situation at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And they were getting better year by year by year. Up the totem pole, 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. Then he ran into one bad season where he went 4-8. It came unraveled, and there was just no leniency there for that tolerance. And they sent him out the door, and then they would have wanted him back, of course, 3 years later because Chad Morris couldn't win a game in the SEC.
They did the same thing at Arkansas 40 years ago to Lou Holtz. Top 10, 6-5, fired. I mean, they did the same thing to Lou Holtz. I mean, go look at Lou Holtz's record at Arkansas. That's what it was. Top 10, 6-5, fired. They did the same thing to him there.
So I'm going to rephrase Yakov's question here. One more note on Illinois, Nebraska. I'll just point this out as well. This is pretty alarming for Nebraska football. Offensively, bottom 10 in the nation in turnover rate, meaning they're turning the ball over offensively. And number 2, bottom 10 in the nation in explosive rate. So they're not creating explosive plays. Plus, they're turning the ball over. And then on defense, they're bottom 10 in getting turnovers this past season. So if you're giving the football up and you can't take it away from the other guy and you've got no big plays, you're only going to win so many 3- and 4-yard plays at the line of scrimmage. That actually leads me to believe that they played well at the line of scrimmage. They won most of the plays, but they didn't win the big plays that determine football games.